This is PetFX here with another video. Welcome to MorningFavs, where I do a certain Pokemon type, and I say my favorite Pokemon of that type, and then do a top 5 of my favorite artworks of Pokemon trading cards that I have. So for this type, this morning faves, we have the steel/metal type. So let's get started, shall we, with my number 10. So my number 10 slot, I have Skarmory. I like Skarmory. It's a really good Pokemon that I've encountered multiple times in Pixelmon, and but when I first encountered it was when somebody showed me the training card game version of him, and which was really, really cool looking, and ever since then I've just liked him. So on to the number 9 spot, we have Clink. Clink is just one of those interesting Pokemon, and weird looking. But Clink looks like 2 gears, and I've always liked mechanical, steampunk looking stuff, and so there he is at my number 9 spot. And at my number 8 spot, I have Bronzong. I like Bronzong because, for one, he kind of looks like the Liberty Bell in some sort of way, or a bell, either way you want to look at it. But the main reason why I like him is in his 4th generation Pokedex entries. My favorite Pokedex entry of those, I can't remember which version it is. I believe it's Platinum. But it was where he summons rain from portals onto the crops, and that just sounded amazing to me. So he's like awesome, and he'd also work perfectly well with the with Thunderous, Landorus, and Tornadoes. Going on our number 7 slot, we have Aeron. I don't know why I like Aeron as far up this is, but all I know is that Aeron, he looks cute, and he's also awesome looking, and his next evolution, his evolution line is great. But reading his Pokédex entries and just looking at him and just in general is just amazing. He's not the greatest Pokemon, but I like him enough to be put onto here, into this slot. On my number 6 slot, I have Aegislash, or however you pronounce it. So I like Aegislash because he looks like a sword, a sword and a shield. Has a sword and a shield on him, and I've always been interested in medieval age. That's my favorite time in history, the medieval times, with all the knights in shining armors and all of that. And the sword and the shield represents attack and defense, and that just puts a nice combo and just looks really awesome. So let's go on to my number 5 spot. We're halfway there to my number 1 spot. Number one, not number 1st. So my number 5 spot is Steelix. I like Steelix, but I've always liked Onyx in anime and in the cards because he looks like a bunch of rocks together to form like a snake-like form. But then when Steelix came out, it was just like, ooh, he just got even more awesome. And now instead of rocks, it's just steel. It's awesome. And the name goes perfectly well with Onyx, and is a nice evolution. So let's go into my number 4 spot. My number 4 spot is Registeel. And I like Richie Steele because in the anime movie, I saw him use some lasers, and that reminded me of a little bit into Star Wars a little bit. And I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of Star Wars, and seeing the lasers reminds me of like the stormtroopers, like laser guns and stuff that they have in there, or Han Solo's laser gun, that. And also he's just really cool looking. I mean, he's like nice and sleek and interesting looking. And the Iron Golem for the Pixelmon in Pixelmon Minecraft, Iron Golem is skin type is Red Steel, and that just adds on to the awesomeness. Okay, now we're on to my top 3. My top 3 Pokemon are a little bit different from the other ones, because they have different colored circles around them to mark. So each of these circles will be in each of my faves, and different colors marking third, second, and first. So my third favorite one is Klefki, as you can see. While I was talking about the circles, I like Klefki. They could put a little bit more into his design, but the main reason why I like him is I watched an episode with Klefki and where Pikachu and all of Pikachu's friends stumbled into Klefki's dimension, where he has like a bunch of keys piled up into to different dimensions and locations around the world, and even ones that are not accessible. And each of the keys are also shaped like Pokemon if you like face them the right way. So that's the main reason why I like Klefki. And at my number 2 spot, we have Jirachi. I'd say that Jirachi is more of a psychic type, but he is also I admire him for being a steel type. I don't really know where the steel part of him is. I'm guessing it's probably because he comes from a rock in the anime, a crystal, and then he kind of pops out every, like, I don't know, somewhat years. And then, but my main reason why I like him is, for one, he's cute. He has an interesting design, and I like the part where he's just made friends with Max and everything, and they're chasing around and all of that. Just really cute. That was a nice moment for Jirachi. So before we go on to my number 1 spot, I'm going to do a review. I'm going to say my favorite Pokemon again. Starting from number 10 to number 2 as a review before we on to the number 1 spot. So number 10, Skarmory. Number 9, Clink. Number 8, Bronzong. Number 7, Aeron. Number 6, Aegislash. Number 5, Steelix. Number 4, Registeel. Number 3, Klefki. And number 2, Jirachi. Now on to our number 1 spot. So my number 1 favorite Pokemon Steel type is Metagross. I like Metagross. I've read that basically he's basically 4 brains in one, so he's like really smart. Not only that, he looks pretty badass. I mean, I've always thought these were like spikes, or his toes or something, but I really don't know. I don't know why they're there. I mean, even if they weren't there, he still would have been awesome. I don't really get part of him. I a lot of people don't know how he flies. All you really need to know is that he's psychic. But in the Pixelmon, I saw when I first encountered him, he was flying away with his arms up, kind of levitating, and moving into the sunset, and that was or dawn or whatever, and that was a really awesome moment. And Metagross is just one of my favorites. He's just awesome looking and all of that. So now that's my top 10 favorite Steel type Pokemon. Now on to my favorite Metal type TCG arts. So going at my top five Metal type TCG Pokemon art. So my number 5 spot is Beldum. Beldum is just this specific artwork of Beldum is awesome. I've seen other artworks of Beldum that's even better. But this one's really cool because Beldum is it's like he's like Mia Clay or something, and that's just really cool looking. So let's go on to my number 4 spot of favorite artworks. It's number 4 is Lairon. This one is really cool. How it has like a little music pattern right there. How he's just like I believe he's like on a bridge or something, like heading that way, and he's like looking back, it's like, oh, don't follow. And yeah, it's really cool. And the only cards that I'm showing of artworks are the ones that are cards that I have, because I don't have really that many cards. I just started collecting a year ago. So now let's go on to number 3, which is Aron. Aron, as you can tell, he was in my top 10, and this one's just really cute. It just adds on to the cuteness of him. He's just like in a pond or lake, just kind of like playing in the water, and that's just kind of cute. So let's go on to number 2, Bronzor. Bronzor, I like this one mainly because it looks like he's like in a forest, and you don't really see that much artwork like that in the Pokemon these days, where they have like really good like hand drawn, or I don't know if that's not hand drawn or not. I don't know if that's hand drawn or not, but that's just really, really nice artwork and really nice background for Bronzor. I don't know why I say Bronzor. Probably because he's an evolution. Now on to my number 1 spot. I'm not going to do review for these because these are just my top 5 arts. So number 1 is Metang. This one's really cool because it looks like he's like flying through a bunch of rocks, and he's just like avoiding all of them. And it kind of looks like he's like going to do a karate chop right there. I mean, his arms up, but he's just it's a really cool artwork of Metang. I haven't really seen any other artworks of Metang. I've seen more of Beldum and Metagross than Metang because I've never really gotten him in a pack other than recently. So those are my top 5 favorite Pokemon arts. Oh yeah, and since this was morning faves, I had breakfast, so I'll share with what I got. So I got Frosted Flakes with energy clusters. I had that this morning with in a bowl of milk, and also glass milk along with that. And tell me in the comments maybe if you want to share what you had for breakfast. So until next time, see you next video. Bye.